Hey everybody, Jen and Jay here. This is from a burn of it's about 5 acres of prairie that was done on July 14th, 2022. We had Ideal Land Management come out. This is a little bit unorthodox to do a burn at this time of the season, but we got a burn permit through the DNR, and this is our first time burning the property. There's so much litter, so much thatch, so much grass from years of just brome growing here that as you can see, things started and burned pretty well. We're trying to clear the property in preparation for seeding in the fall so that spring we can start growing our prairie, restoring our prairie to this area. So the first little section here is about an acre that we did, and took a couple of videos of that process as it was going here. Still was a lot of material left after the burn. We did an entire herbicide of this section prior to the burn by about, maybe a month earlier. Left us with a lot of brown, but the people that did the herbicide actually didn't do the best job, and we ended up with a lot of striping, a lot of grass that was still left alive. And so now we have moved on to the next section of our property. This is about a 3-acre piece that was burned. And again, we had a pretty successful go of it here. I got to run one of the drip torches for a while, so there's not much video here of this part. The fire in this area has just now been ringed around the 3 acres and just started to take off, as you can see. We did a back burn first, along where the fire breaks. Pretty wide back burn to get started, about 15 feet, maybe 20. Did that by doing stripes into the from the north to the south, to several stripes to get everything moving. And then from that point did a slow ring around the fire, ring around the area. Here we are after most of that has burned and is now being put out. This is okay timing to do it. Do you have thoughts? This is that first section of prairie again, after it's been burned. And this is the back burn that I was referring to as we started out doing the 3-acre section. Just getting going here. Now you can see that whole 3-acre section with the fire ring starting to come together. We had a few wind gusts here too, which got things moving pretty good. Got a feeling they're going to ring it now, huh? You can see Brian coming down the side there in side by side. He has a tank on the back, and pretty much just constantly laying down lines of water to keep the fire from going anywhere it shouldn't. I think this is the longest section of video I took, so I had a minute to actually watch it, and it was probably the most instructional as far as how this fire can really start to take off. The idea here, though, is that all 4 sides are burning and closing in on each other so that it kind of meets in the middle, and there's no fire moving towards any of the burn breaks that could possibly jump over and get into the forest. Our understanding is that this will be a lot bigger fire if we were doing a spring burn. I think they were a little surprised that they even got this to go, being it was the middle of July. But again, a lot of brown matter on the ground. You can see Jen with a flapper there, getting ready to spot, just putting out any spots that try to jump out of the burn ring here. Here's where things really started to go, kind of come together here, and you can see the smoke is more substantial. Things kind of started whipping around a bit. We'd warned the neighbors about this just to let them know, so there were no calls to the local authorities, but no one seemed to care. Where I'm standing right now is kind of right by our deer stand. That's to my back. Hanging around by our solar array. And I'm filming where the fire is, but we're all kind of gone through some training to keep our eyes on where the fire isn't and make sure that it's not going where it shouldn't go. So after this section burns, we've got one more area to burn. So we ended up doing on the southern portion of our property about an acre there, and then this 3-acre section, and then there's about another 1-acre section just to the south of this. It all went pretty smoothly, so now we think we can control fire. After the season, we're going to put fire breaks in to break up this 3-acre section into 1-acre sections, so that we'll have 5 1-acre sections. Technically, we can burn those ourselves without a permit if we choose to do so. Don't know if we'll go that route or not, but this year was pretty instructional. We both went through some training, both classroom training and an outside workshop training, and then, of course, experience with this fire. So right now the fire's totally ringed and kind of all coming to the center and slowing down, and things are pretty safe at this point. Just watching the edges to make sure that nothing tries to work its way into those pine trees. But at this point everything is pretty mellowed out. Not too many hot spots, as you can see there. And here we come a couple hot spots right along the south side of this 3-acre piece. Pretty easily managed with the flappers at this point. And so the final minute or so, I think, here of the footage, it's just looking at the areas that were burned after the fact, so we can see what it looks like post-burn. You can see a lot of milkweed still standing. That browned up after a few more days, but surprisingly, a large amount of milkweed grew back up again. We had a great environment for monarchs this year, even because of this burn in July. And this is the south portion. This is the first part that we burned again. Just a little footage of that after the fact. And thanks for watching.